Hari Om. The last discussion on chapter 3 about Karma Yoga. I am going to continue with that theme of Karma Yoga. And while discussing the Karma Yoga, I told you the three important aspects of Karma Yoga. That is, action without attachment to the fruit of it. That is Nishkama, where the desires, the sensory desires and attachments are not there. The second aspect of it is Nirahankar. Nirahankar is there is no ego or selfless action beyond myself, beyond me. And the third aspect is Swadharma, the right thing to do in that situation, in that event or in that circumstances. So let's elaborate a bit more about it. And I told you that this Karma Yoga takes you to the Atma direction, away from the sensory organs direction and ego direction. So Sri Krishna is highlighting this theme again and again in chapter 3. It goes on into chapter 4, 5, 6 further. So he is basically saying that the Kama and Krodha, the sensory desires and ego are necessary to some extent to fulfill your basic needs of life. If you don't have a desire for food, you may not eat properly. If there is no sense of ego, then you will probably be able to not protect yourself. So ego is necessary to certain extent, desires are necessary to certain extent to support your life, but that cannot be the goal of your life. That cannot be the aim of your life. This Swadharma, my role and my duty in life, that should be the aim of your life. Now, how to follow this idea? What are the problems in this? The first problem that we all have is lack of control over our sensory organs and ego and anger. So Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna that the first step of yoga practice is to control your sensory organs, your desires, control your anger, control your ego, control your fear. Of course, fear is connected with desires. Hatred and jealousy is connected with anger. Possessiveness, greed is connected with fear. So once you start getting control over these aspects, your mind slowly comes to normal. That is under your control. Right now I have no control over my mind. I have no control over my thoughts, emotions. I really don't even know what will be my thought after 5 seconds. They just come. Once you can control your mind, then you have to find your Swadharma. The question is, Arjuna asking Shri Krishna that, yes, I want to do that. But then, why this Kama and Krodha keep coming back? So Shri Krishna is telling him, that's the nature of our mind, to be naturally attracted to this Kama and Krodha, the sensory desires and ego. And because our mind is attracted to them, the knowledge, the jnana, the wisdom that is hidden inside us is hidden. The knowledge is within me. What is Swadharma? The knowledge is within me. What is Atma? The knowledge is within me. What is the solution for my stress is within me. What is the solution for all my problems, physical and mental and emotional? The knowledge is within me. But then why can't I find it? Because my mind and my intellect is looking towards Kama and Krodha. And that's how it's hiding the wisdom inside me. He gives nice example like when there is a smoke, the fire under the smoke is hidden. You can't really see the fire because there's smoke on top. Or when the mirror is covered with dust, you can't really figure out if it's a mirror or not. Or the baby, the fetus is wrapped around by the umbilical cord. So he's given these examples. This is how Kama and Krodha hide the wisdom, and they drive our mind, intellect crazy. Now, if you see this idea again from a different perspective, what is the importance of control over this Kama and Krodha? I want to tell you something that applies to our day-to-day life. If you want to be successful in anything in your life, even if that karma is not swadharma and the karma is not atma centered, that karma is just for even earning money, the material karma, the kama krodha karma, the sensory desire karma, even if the karma is like that, if you follow the idea of karma yoga, the non-attachment with the fruit and selfless, there is more chance that you will succeed. Because if you have attachment with the fruit and if you have this ego dimension while doing the karma, it brings more stress. One example I'll tell you. One of my friends, she is a doctor and she was to carry out a surgery. So I met her 2 days before that surgery. She was going to operate on some patient. And then I said, is everything okay? And she said, no, not really. I said, well, what happened? She said, this is my friend and I'm going to operate on her and I'm very stressed because it's already a complicated case and she's my friend. I don't know what's going to happen. Then she smiled and she said, do you have any yoga advice? I said, do it as karma yoga. She said, what do you mean by karma yoga? I said, be non-attached. Whatever happens to the patient, you are not attached. And she was angry at me. She said, what are you suggesting? Are you suggesting that I don't care for anything? What happens to her? I said, no. You just asked me for a solution for your anxiety. I am giving you the solution. And I said, actually, if you follow this advice, there's more chance that you will save her. She said, how is it? So I said, if you are anxious, if you are stressed, how many studies have shown that when you are stressed, your decisions are not clear? When you are stressed, it's more likely that you make wrong choices. It's more possibility that you will not understand what is the right thing to do at that situation. But as opposed to this, if you are very calm, there is more chance that you will take the right decision. And that right decision is based on your state of mind, the balanced state of your mind. And the balanced state of your mind is certainly based on your non-attachment to the fruit of your action. So I am telling you, the secret of success is karma yoga. It's just not a spiritual idea. It's the idea of success. Then the next aspect comes is swadharma. How to identify my swadharma? What is my duty? What is my role? What is my responsibility? I understand if I am a father, then I have a role for my daughter. But then as a life, when I look at my life, the bigger picture, what is my swadharma? And the secret is in the same word that I said. If you want to understand what is the right thing in the situation, you have to expand and look at a bigger picture. When you expand your awareness, that awareness gathers more people around you into that picture. It includes the objects in the mother nature in that bigger picture. So when you are considering what is right and what is wrong, you are considering everyone around you. For example, small picture. I see a chocolate. I say, oh, nice. If I eat it, I'm going to be happy. Fantastic. A small picture. Look at the bigger picture. What is the bigger picture? Makes me addict. So much sugar is not good for me. I can get diabetes. I can get all sorts of problems. So, bigger picture and the decision changes. A little picture. Oh, let me just purchase this nice phone. So, I am very happy. The bigger picture is, do I really need it? You know, one study says the phone that we have, all of us have, not even 20%, 30% of the features of the phone that are there that we use. One survey said that we hardly use 10% of the features. But when we go on for selection of the phone, we select the phone based on how many features it has, which we are not going to use. Just see how the bigger picture turns out to be. So, swadharma has to be decided with a bigger picture in front of you. And now, what is the direction of this swadharma? And this I have already discussed. I am going to explain it further. The direction of the swadharma is not the sensory organs, sensory desires and ego, but it is the Atma centered direction. If you consider Atma, how do you see Atma? Atma is the idea of equality. Atma is the idea of equality and divinity. If you take this idea, let us understand how do you look at the tree. If there is a tree standing in front of me, the direction of kama and krodha, the desires and ego, oh, this tree, the wood is fantastic. I will cut down this tree, I will use this wood for my pleasure, I will make some very nice atom, some nice decorative, wooden artifact, and I will keep it in my house, or I will make it into a nice chair and I will use it, it is very nice wood. That is kama krodha perspective of looking at a tree. If the same thing becomes Atma driven, you will see the energy that the tree has is same as me. I am just happy to see this tree. I am happy that the tree is contributing oxygen to my life, and I am so happy that the tree is giving very nice shade, and I can see the flowers and fruits on the tree, and I can see that joy in just seeing that flower. This is Atma direction. If you look at a person, a human being, what is a kama krodha direction of life? Like how kama krodha will influence. When I look at a person, kama krodha, first kam desire, oh, what this person requires. Oh, he needs this. So I can make these products and sell it to him so that I'll earn more money from him. Because this more money will help me fulfill my desires, and then I'll be powerful. Krodha, ego, power. Kama krodha is desires and power. This is how you look at a person through kama krodha. And how do you look at a person from Atma direction? Oh, a human being, he is like me. Look, I need food, he also needs food. Look, I need love and affection in my life. This person also needs love and affection in my life, in his life. So the idea of taking advantage, idea of taking something from him turns into sharing something with him, helping the other person, understanding the other person. The moment you change kama krodha to Atma, everything becomes very clear. Atma indicates unconditional love. Atma is the reality and truth coming from the mother nature. Atma is about non-violence. Atma is about balance in the nature, in the life, in your personal experience of life. If you look at our society, the direction of our society today is also centered with desires and power. Everyone, every society, every sect in the world today, they want to be more dominating. They want to be more powerful. Country saying, we should be more rich. We should have our GDP growth higher. We should have more resources. Our people should get more pleasures and more power. So, I go for arms race. I want more and more powerful weapons so that my power will increase, and I want my economy to be strongest, so I will have all the pleasures. This is a collective kama and krodha. But Bhagavad Gita says something more interesting. He says any individual or any society, if their ideal or their goal of life is kama and krodha, it will meet with destruction. There is no positive ending to that. The societies that have become self-centered, the cultures that have given so much more importance to sensory pleasures, people are losing respect for other humans because they are so self-centered. And because they have become so self-centered, they have contained themselves in their little personal spaces, and that personal spaces have become so powerful that there is no one else allowed in that, and they are feeling lonely and isolated. In today's world, 70% people experience anxiety and depression once in their lifetime. What is the reason for anxiety and depression? Isolation and rejection, lack of connections. Relationships break all the time in today's world. Why? The culture, education is focused on me and my desires, that ego, power and desires. So we seriously as a society needs to rethink what Sri Krishna is saying as changing the goalpost from kama and krodha to atma. It's a serious subject for all of us to introspect and understand, because the secret of our peace and happiness and positive state of mind is in this direction. So I'm going to stop here with this discussion on Karma Yoga. Hari Om.